you're receiving intuition about what is going to bring in passion and excitement in your life. And you have been receiving like insights about this, or like messaging about this, or information about this. And when I did the shuffle, this came out in the challenge position. So I am hearing that you're not believing or listening or trusting fully what you're receiving information wise when it comes to your intuition. And at the bottom of the deck, there is the Ten of Swords and the Hermit. And actually inner strength is here too. So what this is saying to me is that you are kind of in the process of leaving behind, because if you can see, she's kind of moving into the distance and moving on. You're leaving behind certain betrayals, certain like really heavy energy. And because you're in the process of leaving this behind, you're kind of being tugged in between two spaces. You're going through kind of a death and rebirth. So there's like this shedding of the old and the entering of the new, but you're not in the new yet. You're kind of like balancing in between and being pulled either way. So I think that's partially like what's causing confusion for you. And so, you're trying to like sit with yourself and be with yourself and figure this out. Like, this is the Hermit. And do some like soul searching around this. And I think Spirit is saying that you need to sit with yourself in silence and in like that meditative state to kind of hear these messages a little bit more. And you need to have more faith and trust in what you're hearing. And what just came in is kind of like, just because what you think is true, other people disagree with, or other people don't agree with, or other people have different opinions, doesn't mean that it's not true. And so, this is really about you learning how to trust yourself and learning how to trust the information and the messaging that you're receiving, and also trust your experience, right? Like, just because our experience doesn't match other people's experience doesn't make our experience any less real. So this is really about you learning how to like trust yourself and stand strong in your own experience of things, even if it's not something that other people are experiencing outside of you, or it's not congruent with other people and what they maybe experienced about something similar, right? Like, there's something in here about you doubting your beliefs about like your own perspective and experience, as well as doubting your own understanding about like what's happening for you and why. That journey is not going to be understood by everybody. And I'm being guided to say here, like, when you're going through like a divine, like rerouting of whatever it is, like of your life, like you're going through a divine intervention of rerouting, of moving your life in a different direction, that's not going to make sense to other people. It's just not. They're not receiving the same messaging and feeling and understanding as you are. And so it's not going to make sense to other people when you quit your job and you like take your hours down, or you start doing something different or whatever. Like, it's not going to make sense to other people when you make a big adjustment and shift like that. And so Spirit is saying that like it doesn't have to make sense to other people. What it has to make sense to is you, and you have to believe and trust in it. And you have to have faith in your own journey, and you have to have belief in your own journey, and you have to have belief in yourself. And so don't let everybody else's opinions and everybody else's truth kind of like get in the way of yours, right? Like, part of this journey is recognizing where you end and someone else begins. So take a step back and realize that your experience is not going to be other people's experiences. Your intuition isn't going to match up with everybody else's. You're not going to be aligned with everybody, especially the people that you're around when you're balancing in between new and old. 444 on my timer. You are divinely protected. Your journey and your movement and your path is divinely protected. Nobody can do anything about it or take it away from you or anything like that. But you can, right? You need to stand strong in who you are. You need to have trust in who you are. You need to know who the fuck you are. All right? Stand in your power. You are a powerful, powerful, powerful being. You are so intuitive. listen to your gut, listen to your instincts, listen to your messages that you're receiving, because that is your truth, and your truth is all that matters to you. Okay? It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. So I am going to leave the message there. If you did make it to the end, please put in the comments 444 and know that you are divinely protected. I do have in my bio a regulation course. If you are interested, it's called the Regulation Blueprint. It will teach you how to regulate your nervous system so that you can start to manifest better. That is in my bio. I also do have a new community that I just kind of put out there. It's called the Inner Eclipse Community. It's a Shadowwork community. It helps you kind of learn how to clear out your subconscious beliefs and programming so that you can step into your power and your sovereignty. And I have a lot of education on there. There's a lot of community kind of conversations that can happen on there, questions, and things like that. So definitely take a look at that if you're interested. And remember, this journey is tough sometimes, and it's heavy sometimes, and it can feel long as hell. But you got this. You got this. You wouldn't have been given this if you didn't. Love and light.